hormones. You know, those things that your parents blame you for being moody or talking back to them, but hormones are a lot more than just things that make you finally be able to grow that beard or all of a sudden not fit in your jeans because you grew 10 inches overnight. Hormones are a part of a body system called the endocrine system. Many of the body systems obviously state its function in its name. For example, skeletal, digestive, muscular. But endocrine system's name is a little bit more vague. Let's break that word down. Endo means within, and crine or crin means secrete. Gotta love that word. The endocrine system secretes things within our bodies called hormones from hormone-producing areas called glands. These are specialized organs that secrete certain hormones depending on what the body needs at a given time. We'll get into that a little bit later. Now, endo means within, right? The opposite of endo is exo, meaning outside. Endocrine refers to glands that do not use a duct system to secrete things. They go directly into the bloodstream and travel to wherever it needs to go in the body. There isn't a separate little tunnel or pipe system that the hormone has to go through. Exocrine glands, on the other hand, which are not a part of the endocrine system, have specialized tunnels that whatever they secrete that only goes into. Examples of this are your oil and sweat glands. They have a tunnel that reaches from the gland to the surface of the skin. It doesn't go directly into the bloodstream. Imagine the body as like a giant city, like New York or Los Angeles. Imagine our bloodstream is like the highways and roads all around where cars can travel, exit, and leave as they please. The endocrine system's hormones would be traveling in cars down the highway. Exocrine glands, on the other hand, would be more like a train system, a very rigid, one-track way where trains can't just enter and leave as they need. They follow one path and never intermingle with other trains or cars. As I mentioned earlier, hormones are the thing that endocrine glands secrete. This is a pretty broad word because there's dozens of hormones the body could be secreting at just one given time. Let's look closer at what a hormone actually is. A hormone is a certain chemical made by a specialized gland that is released into the bloodstream and sends messages to another part of the body. It sometimes is known as a chemical messenger. Hormones can travel really far, as far from the brain to places like the ovaries and testes. Hormones can either be protein-based or steroid or lipid-based. Both work to attach to very specific cells with very specific receptors and enact a certain very specific response. Proteins cannot directly enter the cells because they are not lipid-soluble, so protein-based hormones usually use secondary messengers inside the cell to tell the cell what to do. Steroid-based hormones, on the other hand, are lipid-soluble, so they can directly enter the cell and relay the message as needed. A hormone is not the same thing as an enzyme, but sometimes these can get confused. An enzyme is a catalyst that helps speed up reactions. Hormones can cause the reaction to happen completely. Without the hormone, the reaction wouldn't happen at all. Enzymes, however, just cause a reaction to go faster. Enzymes and hormones are also very structurally different as well. Not every cell can attach to every hormone. Every cell in the body is differently shaped with different receptors for certain hormones. For example, growth hormone, a hormone produced by the thyroid gland, attaches to things like muscle and skeletal cells to trigger mitosis or cell division. Not every single cell in the body will respond to growth hormone. Much like you only receive mail with your specific receptor, otherwise known as your address, certain cells have specific addresses, which are only mailed specific hormones as needed. Endocrine glands are oftentimes small and relatively unimpressive as compared to other things like our heart, large intestine, or stomach. However, the production of hormones is absolutely imperative to maintaining homeostasis. Here's a glimpse at some of the endocrine glands and what hormones they produce. Your pituitary gland is considered your master endocrine gland, producing many important hormones that control other hormones, such as thyroid-stimulating hormone, adrenocorticotropic hormone, which stimulates the adrenal glands, and more. Your thyroid gland helps control your metabolism. The parathyroid glands, along with your thyroid gland, contribute to blood calcium levels in opposite ways. Your thymus contributes to immune function in children by creating T cells. Your pancreas also helps in your metabolism. Your adrenal glands help with water retention, stress levels, and reproductive function. The gonads, ovaries, and testes help with reproductive function by producing hormones that you may know, like testosterone and estrogen. One interesting thing about the thymus gland is that it actually shrinks over time and becomes adipose tissue as an adult. For a part of history, many scientists didn't really even know the function of the thymus or why it shrunk over time, but we now know that it helps make T cells, which are important for our immune system. The female body can also create a temporary endocrine organ called the placenta. The placenta has many important functions, including creating hormones like HCG or human corticogonadotropic hormone, which helps maintain pregnancy. Our body is acutely fine-tuned to even the most minute changes of hormone levels. For example, as women get older, their estrogen levels start to get lower. Estrogen is a hormone in the body produced by the ovaries and adrenal glands that is responsible for sexual development of girls and controls the growth of uterine lining every month, as well as affects metabolism and growth. A normal premenopausal adult woman has between 15 to 350 picograms per milliliter in their blood. If the estrogen even drops 5 picograms per milliliter lower, an amount indetectable by the human eye, they can start experiencing hot flashes, hair loss, and mood changes. Another example of the body's acute response to hormones is diabetes mellitus. Diabetes mellitus prevents your body from absorbing the improper amount of glucose needed, either because your body doesn't make insulin, which is type 1 diabetes, or because your cells aren't using insulin correctly, which is type 2 diabetes. Insulin is a hormone produced by the pancreas to help lower blood sugar by allowing glucose to enter into your cells. When blood sugar rises, insulin is released to allow the sugar to enter your cells. Once blood sugar has reached equilibrium, insulin is not produced any longer. This is an example of a negative feedback loop, meaning the body is trying to decrease the stimulus that is disrupting homeostasis, which in this case is blood sugar levels. If your body fails to produce insulin or your cells become resistant to accepting insulin, your body can go haywire since the negative feedback loop is now inhibited. Besides feeling faint, lightheaded, constant hunger, and increased thirst and urination, diabetes can also affect your vision, sensation in your limbs, and can even put your body into shock. Overall, the endocrine system is another piece of the puzzle that keeps your body functioning properly no matter what the environment throws at you. You can thank your hormones for helping you metabolize your cereal you ate for breakfast, the calcium which makes your muscles move, and the cortisol it produces to help keep your stress levels regulated, as you may be crammed for a test by watching this video.